I can now remember I've run London Marathon. And then after that, I went and I entered New York Marathon. New York Marathon is in November 2023, right? I didn't decide. I think it came to me, rather. It was a thing of, I'm stuck in the house. I'm thinking about this person that I love dearly, that I've just lost. We are not able to do anything, So I think also that's another thing. As humans, we think grief is it's something that passes.
Yeah.
It's an event that happens to you and it passes. But I feel like it changes form and it changes shape, if I can put it that way. And especially this problematic leg, I can now start feeling it. I flew. And I think also the medication helped because now I'm not in as much pain, right?
As before, yeah.
And when I crossed the mat, I actually broke down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understandable.
And how I knew that, you could tell that this one, she's not okay.
The last, people break down at that point, eh?
Yeah.
Contrast between Comrades and London Marathon.
Yeah. You asked me that question earlier and we digressed.
Yeah.
I think they are, in more ways, they are the same than they are different. I think the only difference is the culture, right?
Welcome to this episode of the Runners Podcast with myself, Rotoholo, and today we are going to be taking you, or rather she will be taking us through her running journey. Her name is Lebogang, but she will do the honors of giving a thorough introduction. If you are new to our channel, please like, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so that when a new video comes out, you will get notified. And if you are a returning subscriber, we say unto you, thank you, and continue supporting our cause. And without further waste of time, we welcome Lebogang.
My name is Lebogang Kgari. Yes, I'm a runner. Socials, I'm known as Lebogang. That's the name I go by.
Oh, on your socials?
Yes, Instagram, Twitter. That's all. I don't do Facebook. I don't do TikTok.
Ouch.
So, yeah. I think the one thing that made me go back to running was me trying to deal with grief, because that's when I lost my dad.
Oh, yeah, I can relate.
Yes, and it was just when COVID was starting, right? And I just needed something just to...
You needed a shoulder to cry on,
something like that,
or to take off the pain.
Yes, I needed something, but in terms, in like slang terms, it's to deal. It was a way for me to deal. And I think mostly because even when I was still running as a child, my dad was one of the people that were invested in that, if I can call it, extramural activity, And even when we would watch sports, when it came to like Olympics, sporting events, he loved athletics. So and which also then led me to run my first Comrades, because I got introduced to Comrades by my dad.
When was this?
He would make sure that I'd say, like, just growing up in my high school years, he would make sure he doesn't miss the dates. But that's how I knew
on the Comrades
we
day,
would
you
sit
would watch it
and
together.
watch, and I would never understand why people run the whole day. Like, it never made sense to me, but he'd be so invested in it. And he would pass comments like, yeah, one day, Comrades, and I'd just be like, I'm not that girl. So yeah, that's the long and short of it. That's how I then got reintroduced into running.
Okay, to deal with your dad's passing.
Yes.
So how did you decide to say, now I'm going to hit the pavement, I'm going to pound the streets and so forth?
Okay. I didn't decide. I think it came to me rather. It was a thing of I'm stuck in the house. I'm thinking about this person that I love dearly, that I've just lost. We are not able to do anything, outside of go shopping. Remember when COVID started? It was like,
oh yes,
go shopping. Yeah, and then they introduced this thing of you can walkabouts, runabouts, 5 kilometer
Oh, that
radius.
5 kilometer
Yes,
radius,
So for me, initially, the first time it happened, I went for a walk.
Or when they relaxed those restrictions,
I went for a walk. I went, remember, because gyms were closed then even.
Oh yeah, even the
so
gyms.
I was leading an active lifestyle in terms of going to the gym. But because gyms were closed, I now find myself in a space where I've got nothing to do. And I went out, I went for a walk, right? And I think gradually, on the second day, I was like, actually, let me try and jog. I jogged. And hence I say it came to me, because it was not like a conscious decision to say, now that this has happened, this is how I'm going to deal with grief. And I think for me, more than anything, it was more intuition and from a spiritual perspective, because looking at it, that's the one of the passions that I shared with my dad, So I think that's why I found it even easy for me to use it as a crutch, to say, okay, this is something that kind of heals me. And also, if I can mention, when my dad fell ill, right? And it was like very short-lived, and I wasn't with him at the time. So the last time I saw him, like he was fine, he was well, he was happy, and then the next time I saw him, he was no more. For me, I think that's what made it hard for me to make peace with it. And I couldn't kind of share those thoughts or feelings or emotions with anybody else, because bona ba mo bone a lwala,
Oh, so you mean maybe your mom and your siblings?
Exactly. For them it was like, he's at peace, we saw him. For me, it never made sense.
And how old was he? Maybe just if you don't know.
My dad, when he passed away, he was 62.
Yeah, he was still young.
Yeah, that was in 2020.
Yeah, he was still not that old.
Yeah. So now that's happened, right? And for me, it was I can't always be crying about this, because I felt like no one understood where I was coming from, because we were very close. And so me going out for the walk, for the run, then it gradually became like also a time for me to grieve in peace, if I can put it that way.
Yeah.
And I don't know if your experience is different, but I've seen it, especially with Black families most of the time.
Okay.
They don't like someone who grieves a lot. It's
really?
Like it's I don't know with you if you have a different experience.
Yeah, I think maybe you might have different experience, but I know what you're talking about. But
it's always like when you cry a lot, the person does not rest in peace. I don't know where they get that notion. Yeah, but it's like you are. For me, it's always been. Yeah, it's always deal with it. You'll be fine. And for me, I felt like no one understands.
Yeah, no one understood. Yeah.
Where I'm coming from. So, yeah, and then that's when I found myself then just running, and eventually it became I realized that even physically I'm benefiting, because now I'm not going to the gym, but I'm running.
Oh yeah, so it's still an exercise.
It's still exercise, and it was hard though. It was hard. I'm not saying it took away all my problems, but I think it became something that I used to kind of move away from the grief, and not really.
Lovely.
So I think also that's another thing. As humans, we think grief is it's something that passes.
Yeah.
It's an event that happens to you and it passes. But I feel like it changes form and it changes shape, if I can put it that way. And it changes how you experience it,
Okay.
So when it started, and for the most part of it, it was hard for me to accept it. I couldn't make peace with it. So it never got better.
Yeah.
But I found that the running gave me something that I felt like, okay, this is a part of my life that I can control, because things have happened that I could not control, and this is something that I can control because I own it, right?
Yeah.
I decide where, when, how, and I want to run. When I stop, when I don't. So I never got over it.
You never got over it, but did you get better?
Yes.
Did it get better with this running shandies?
It did, and it actually got better this year.
Oh, really?
I think this year is the year where most of the healing happened.
It's 4 years later. And you moved to the UK. When was that?
This was, okay, so when I, in 2020, I was in the UK.
Or when your dad passed?
When my dad passed, I was fortunate enough that, he passed away 2 days after I landed from the UK.
Oh.
And then that's when I started running to deal with.
So when you were in the UK, how long have you been there for?
So I went initially when I went in 2020. That was like my first time. And then when I then went back in 2021, they called me back and they said, okay, now we know where the direction of this whole thing. There's restrictions, whatnot, but you can still come back if you want to.
Okay.
And also that decision was influenced by that loss, because for me, everything reminded me of him.
But you had already started running.
Yes. If I can call it, I wasn't, because remember there were no races at that time, right? I'm just running just to keep sane.
Okay.
You find a group of people that you run with in the neighborhood. There were no races at that time. Fine. And then I packed my stuff and I got to the UK. I continued the training. I meet a lot of South Africans. The South African community in the UK is very huge. It's welcoming. It makes you feel at home. And it so happens that there's runners as well.
Yeah. The crazy community.
Yes. The first group of people that I got introduced with our runners are Sports for Ubuntu. Yes. Follow them on Instagram. So, we start running. We start doing activities. We meet up. We run together. And then through that, I then meet other runners through social media as well. So the person that I made like strong relations with, that's Bulelwa. She's the founder of Sports for Ubuntu. I'm still part of them anyway. So basically the whole point around Sports for Ubuntu is for us to raise funds for the underprivileged, for the needy. We don't just run. The slogan is we run, we raise, we rise. Hi, Sis Bulelwa, you'll get to watch this video. This is me sending my love all the way from South Africa.
Thank you, Bulelwa, for bringing this lady to the fore. Yeah.
So, and then I then met other runners, Sis Pindile, Sis Gina, Abutifusi. They are all South Africans, but they've relocated to the UK on a permanent basis.
Oh, they're permanent
so they live
residents
there,
that
but
side,
they are South Africans. We start running. And that's then how I then got into this whole thing of bus driving.
Bus driving, you were
It's not called bus driving in the UK, it's pacing. You are a pace setter.
You are a pace setter.
Yeah.
Yeah, in South Africa, we've got our way of saying things.
Yes.
So that side they are formal.
Yeah.
Maybe I can even imagine in London they would say
Yes.
it's a pace setter. Yeah, they won't say it like
yes. And yeah, I started running races that side. I hadn't, but I did like your 21 kilometers, your 10 kilometers. And then Sis Gina and Abutifus are actually the ones that were like, you're actually passionate about this running thing. Do you want to be a pace setter, bus driver in South African terms? I'm like, what is that? And they're like, no, in a race, there's people that want to meet a certain time goal, you know, and you help them do that. And I was like, okay. I love, in everything that I do, I wanted to have the human element. You know, I believe in Botu, Batu.
So it's Ubuntu you believe in. So they're using this name Ubuntu in the UK.
Yeah.
Run for Ubuntu.
Sports for Ubuntu.
Oh, sports for Ubuntu.
Yeah,
It's used in the UK.
Yes, the dominating sport is the running because there's more runners in it. But the cyclists, there's people that do hikes.
So it's got many
yes. Yeah. So that's the foundation of it all. And so then then I start this bus driving thing.
Yeah. Start becoming, let's talk about pace setting.
Yes. Yeah. Talk about pace setting. Hey, the bus driving one, it feels very heavy. You know how big a bus is. You know?
You see?
Yeah.
So you become a pace setter.
I've become a pace setter.
And
I've done like a few. I hadn't done like a marathon.
You were doing 10s and 21s.
10s and 21s, which was amazing. It was an amazing experience, you know, because I think, remember, finding running again for me, it was personal, right? It was, I'm doing it for a reason for me to benefit. Yeah. But then it's now becoming now I'm doing this so that other people can benefit, you know. It's no longer about you.
Oh,
it's
about the people that you are pacing.
That you are pacing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not about you because we all know. I get it when you are pacing. You don't pace at your optimal speed. You post it like a lesser speed that you can, like the easiest that you can do, if I can put it like that. So then it means it's kind of letting go of your ego.
Yeah.
It's no longer about you.
It's a community service.
Exactly.
I call it that.
Giving back.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So yeah. I did that. I would pace and it would be like on a random weekend, go there, you pace people. There's like people that I've met through that I'm still in contact with, you know, and you have chats. So here's the difference about in the UK. Well, Sis Gina, she's a different, you must follow her on Instagram, Duchess of Hampstead. Sis Gina, you see, I'm looking out for you.
I'll follow her. And I'll ask her to follow us.
And I would do Fusi as well, running Fusi on Instagram. They are there. They pace London Marathon. They are pacers at the London Marathon.
Oh, really?
Yes, Abu Fusi is going to pace Venice Marathon.
Really?
Yes, that's they are up there. You know.
Because funny enough, in 2020, I was supposed to do Paris Marathon.
Yeah.
It was on the 5th of April. And lockdown happened on the 21st of March.
Yes.
Why? Because London Marathon rejected me. You know, when you enter London Marathon, it's a batch. They call it what? A batch system.
Ballot.
A ballot system. I threw in my application and the ballot threw me out, so I couldn't get the card. So then I decided to enter Paris Marathon. Okay. I need to do revenge with London Marathon and Paris. Yeah. So you can go ahead with your. So those guys are doing.
They pace at that level. Yeah, they pace at that level. That's how I got into pace. And I think maybe had I not left the UK, I'd probably be there as well, you know. But at some point you need to make decisions that make more sense to you. So yeah, and in that I also got to run London Marathon, by the way.
You run London?
I ran London
Marathon. You ran for me. I need my medal.
It's an amazing race. The energy that you get from just running the race.
But please just share what contrast your London Marathon experience with South African experience, so that we can get a glimpse of what if any similarities, any differences.
Okay, so I think, let me see. I've ran, let me think. I've ran 6 marathons,
Okay.
like 42.2 kilometers.
Yes.
Right? I'm not counting the ultras in my, because I started, when I ran, my first marathon was in 2022 December, and that was because I wanted to qualify for Comrades. That was part of my journey with dealing with grief.
Which one did you do?
The marathon that I qualified in. Hey, that one is another, it's the story of another day.
No,
because
this is the name.
It's Portsmouth Marathon. It's like a coastal marathon.
It's in
the UK.
Oh, in the UK.
Yes, because I was like, in December, I don't want to have qualifying problems. I want to be relaxed knowing I'm sorted.
And what was your finish time there?
My finish time was, I think it was 4:40. And I must say it was very hard. It was a tough marathon because it was windy. Remember December, that side is winter.
Oh, yes.
And winter, that side it rains. It's windy. It's by the coast. So you can imagine P4, a coastal city. It's like when you go to 2 oceans. You know how the wind blows the current is very strong.
Yeah.
And what they didn't tell us was that it wasn't all road, the terrain. At some point you were running on pebbles because it was along the beach.
Oh, yeah.
It was, I think to date, it's the most gruesome race that I've run in my life ever. And for me to have gone back and still do marathons, it's because I had a mission. I had a strong why as to why I'm doing this. Otherwise, I would never have gone back. Because I remember after running that marathon, I couldn't even talk. My hands were frozen. My lips were frozen.
And what was the temperature?
It was, I think it was in just below 10 degrees.
Below 10?
And it was very cold.
You were
I
warm,
ran the full race wearing long sleeve running top. Underneath I had a vest, I had a running top, and then I had a jacket.
Yeah.
And I was wet from the rain.
Yeah.
It was bad.
That was hectic.
Even my pictures, I've never posted them on social media because
you look like your problems.
Exactly. And I'm just like, people can't see me looking like this. It's not happening,
But sometimes you need to show us. And people need to see the
I'll send you the picture. You can put it here.
Okay,
just so that they see it once. Yeah, they'll see it once. There's no video, it's a picture. Okay. I was running with Abudifusi, the guy that I'm telling you about. You know what? He's played a very instrumental role in my running journey because he said, I'm going to make sure, Kgari, you qualify for that marathon. And he did. He actually did, So...
He was not pace setting.
No, he was not, because at some point, I left him, but then he caught up with me in the last, I think, 2-3 kilometers because... Yeah, it was hard. And I almost if it wasn't for him, I think I would not have made it.
Or you would have bailed out and
I would have, because at that point I was like, I'm walking the rest of this thing. And then when he came, he said to me, Elsie, remember, you are qualifying, let's go. You need this, So yeah, that was my first marathon. So
it was the first and the most gruesome.
It was the first and the most gruesome. I would not recommend it. I'll give it 1 out of 5 stars. And the one is because I came back with the medal. Otherwise, I would not recommend.
The rest is history.
Yes. So then I ran that. And then I ran London Marathon last year. And then I ran New York.
You even went to New York?
Again, yes. So those are my first 3 marathons were actually that side, right? And then I came home, and then I did Johnson Crane. I did, what's this other marathon? Edenvale.
Oh, Edenvale, yeah.
Edenvale, yeah. Which other one am I not counting? Why am I on?
And then the ultras. No, you don't have to count all of them. It's fine.
Yeah, it's because I know, man, it's supposed to be 6, not 5.
And then the ultras.
Ultras, I've only done 3. Omdiedam,
nice
2 Oceans, and the Ultimate. All of them, I did them this year. In 2024. Omdiedam was my first ultra.
So you were a Comrade Novice this year?
Yeah, I'm a novice at ultras
and
in general.
Congratulations to you for the achievement.
Thank you.
And let's just highlight, what was your finish time in Johnson Crane?
My finish time was...
You can't recall.
I know. 4:35.
And then your finish time at Edenvale?
At Edenvale, it was 4:30? Yeah, because
So
I shaved
improved.
off like five minutes.
And then
Yeah.
Omdiedam finish?
Your Omdiedam was my first one, so I was aiming for a sub-6.
Yeah.
So I did 5:55, just
That's
under.
It's a qualifier. You got it,
Yeah.
and then your TOM, your oceans.
2 Oceans, I got, was it 5:55? Yes, under 6 hours.
Oh, look at you!
Yeah, I came back with a bronze.
So you were faster than Omdiedam.
Yes.
But maybe because it's the coast and the training was.
I think at that time I was now fitter than I was at Omdiedam, and I had more experience. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was Comrades.
Or maybe you were revenging on your Portsmouth. What do you call that marathon?
Portsmouth.
Yeah, Portsmouth. Maybe you were doing revenge because it's also coastal, but that
Actually,
one is a good sightseeing.
You know, there's something that, and I'll say it again. Abu Difusi told me that as well. He said, your PBs, you mostly get them out of those races where you are just going in for fun.
Oh.
And I never got it. And with 2 Oceans, for me, it was just vibes. I was there just
you
to
were
have
there
fun.
for the vibes, yeah.
For me, I was just like, I'm here in Cape Town as a tourist. The running of 2 Oceans is just a bonus. I'm
Yeah.
here just to get the medal, just finish under the 7 hours. Well, I knew I wasn't going to run it in 7 hours. It was going to be less. But the time that I got, even for me, it was a wow. Okay, because even when they gave me the medal, right, it looked different. Like the one with the blue.
Yeah.
Mine did not have the blue. When I asked the guy and I said, why is my medal like this? And he said, no, it's because you finished under 6 hours. Bronze. I didn't know.
You didn't know there's a. Okay.
No, I didn't. You know, so I didn't go there with the revenge thing. I just went there just.
So you went to have fun and you had fun.
And to be honest with you, that's the runner that I am. I hardly run for PBs.
Yeah.
I run to enjoy the race, to have a great experience. The PBs, I guess, they just come
As a bonus.
And it's I realize most of the time, and towards the end of the race, that, oh wow, okay, this is probably the time that I'm going to get. And I think because mainly up to Comrades, right, up until Comrades, well, that was the last big race that I did. I was running for my dad. This is the reason why I went and I did Comrades again, right? So for me, it was if I can finish this race and get the medal, it will mean something to you. It will mean something to me.
And you did it for your dad.
I did it for my
His
dad.
vision came to pass.
Yes, you know, and yeah.
In the most humbling way, because you detested the Comrades and now you did Comrades. So it came
it did.
When you least expected it.
It did, and because I know some people when they watch this, they'll be like, yeah, because I used to tease people on Twitter and be like, I can't believe you guys really run the whole day. Because I mean, who wakes up and runs from 5 a.m. until 5 p.m.? Like, why, would you do that?
And prior to Comrades, you did 2 Oceans as a long run, or you did another long run?
It was a long run. So it was...
Did you do another 60, 70 kilometer long run?
I did. No, I didn't do anything more than 2 Oceans. The longest after 2 Oceans I did was there's a training run for Run Zone. They call it the Comrades long run.
Yeah.
But I did 50 on the day.
I know they've got 60 or 65.
They have 60 as well, yeah.
Oh, you only did 50
They have 45, 50 and 60. I went in there to do 45. But for some reason, I got lost. I didn't follow the arrows. When the arrow said 45 go straight or left or whatever, I took the 50.
You got excited.
Yes, I got excited and then I ended up
But
doing
lovely.
50.
Then you did Comrades.
Yes.
What is your Comrades finish, Mrs. Novice?
That's 10:41:21.
Oh.
10, no. Why am I adding a minute to my finishing time? It's 10:40.
10:40.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a very good finish.
Thank you.
And when you stepped on the at Comrades, there's those seeding batches.
Yeah.
What batch were you at?
I was batch F.
Yeah, I just guessed.
And I got the F. I got from 2 Oceans.
Yeah, no.
Because I also didn't know, right? I was happy with my was it G seeding or H seeding that I got from Johnson Crane. I was happy with it. Okay, it's any Comrades. That's it. I'm going to
that's all that matters.
And then my friend said to me, "How did you know, Skim? Did you know how you can use your
Two Oceans,
your 2 Oceans time, and it's going to improve your seeding?" And I said, "Really?" About yeah. And then I did it, and then I got F.
So you got to the F batch. They called you to say F this side, and then they sang the Nkosi Sinkele, the Shosholozas, the
Chariots of Fire. I actually cried.
When they sang Chariots,
I actually cried.
I usually just look at the novice when they do the Chariots and everything. Yeah.
That moment for me was you are here, you've made it, you are doing this, and I think because of the reason why I was doing it. So remember now, I told you that I qualified when I ran my first marathon was in 2022, right? To qualify. I was supposed to run my first competition in
23, yeah.
In fact, I wasn't supposed to. I intended, right?
That was the intention.
Because if I was supposed to, I would have run it. And then what happens is I get a really, really serious injury while I'm training for Comrades. And the doctor said, there's no way because you've broken your femur. So what happened is I got a fracture, right? And then because I get runners, we are toxic.
Yeah.
You are injured, but you still want to continue because
there's a level of toxicity that we do have.
I was one of those. Because I remember even when I ran London Marathon, I didn't race it because I was injured. I had a brace on my knee. I thought it was like a knee quad problem, but it was actually I had broken. It was a fracture. So when I ran London Marathon, I was injured. I just didn't know that. And
did you do the full marathon?
I did the full. Actually, I did. Oh yes, there is the one marathon that I'm missing. Brighton. It's also in the UK. I ran Brighton.
Like there's a
club there's a club there. I ran Brighton and London. They were 2 weeks apart. So when I ran Brighton, I was already injured. I didn't know. And then I went and I ran.
So London. Brighton came before
London.
London, yeah.
I go and I ran Brighton. I ran it. I finished. I think I did Brighton. I don't know. It was 4:30. Yes. Then I continue. I've entered into London Marathon, right? And I knew, okay, I'm injured, but I didn't think it was that deep. And for me, it was no man. Let me run London. This thing comes once in a lifetime. It's one of the majors.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run this thing, and when I'm done, I will then consult so that I can take off this thing. When I go to Comrades, I'm okay.
And is it in April? Is it still in April?
I remember April 23, 2023. That was the day I ran London.
I know, London is along those days.
Yeah, so it's all, I usually document like my running journey. So if you go into my Instagram, you'll see there's like a story. I did a reel about it, and I did highlights. So then I ran London. The first half of it, I ran it. But I was running very limping. I was limping. The second half of London, I walked it. Because then it was bad. But because of the stubbornness, I was like, I'm not going to start something and not finish it. And I think the advantage with that also is with most of these international marathons, they don't have a cutoff.
Yeah.
So for me, I have the whole day to do this. I'm going to do it and I'm going to finish. I finished London. I go home. I'm still limping. At night, I tried waking up to go to the bathroom. That's when I realized I couldn't walk.
Oh, shame.
Yeah. And then I said, okay.
The toxicity now.
Yeah, the wheels have come off. I need to go see the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
The following day, got on an Uber, went to see the doctor. They did some tests, and when they were busy doing the tests, he says to me, whenever the way your injury is, I suspect you have a fracture. It's very abnormal. You are feeling the pains or you are feeling them, and because also how you are walking. I laughed it off and I said, there's no way I would have a fracture and would have run 2 marathons in the past 2 weeks. Doesn't make sense. But okay, fine. Let's just do an X-ray just to make sure, rule it out so that we know what we are treating. 2 days later, the results come. It is indeed a fracture. And the first question I didn't ask, but he answered it for me anyway. And he said, I know what you're going to ask me, but Comrades is definitely not an option.
So it's in the UK?
I'm in the UK.
So they know about Comrades?
They know, yes. And she says she says to me, because she was like the musculoskeletal specialist. She says to me, I know what you're going to ask me. Comrades is not an option. She said, even with that, I don't even want you walking. In fact, come to my offices and come and get crutches and get a brace because you need to be sitting down, taking care of that leg.
Yeah.
That's when I knew that my Comrades dream for 2023 was over. I must tell you that it felt like I'm grieving all over again. It was like a double blow.
Yeah.
Because now remember,
you can't fulfill what the mandate that
exactly.
you wanted to.
And now also this crutch that I've been holding on to, the one thing that keeps me sane has been taken away from me. I can't run, let alone run in Comrades. I can't run at all. I have to walk in crutches. But still, I came to South Africa. I was
and
here.
How long did your injury last?
My injury lasted for 6 months because I only started walking in, I think, end of April, May, June, July, August, September.
Around this time
September, yes. That's when the doctor said, now you can let go of the crutches, but you are still not running. You are still not running. You are not there yet.
Okay.
And then, but throughout that time, I was doing like rehab. I would go in twice a week, do physio, like, do all the things they need to do with me. But I was on crutches because I remember even when I came for Comrades in 2023, I came to support because remember.
Oh, you actually came, but you supported.
I came. I was supporting. I was the girl on crutches, because I've booked everything. Flights booked. Everything is booked.
Yeah.
The only thing I can't do is run. And I remember when I called Comrades to withdraw because I said I want to withdraw my entry. The lady said, no man, don't you wanna come and just be at the start line and see how it feels? And I said, knowing myself, I'm gonna want to do the race. So no, I'd rather not, So then me coming was just.
So they allowed you to withdraw.
Yeah, they did because I told them that I'm injured. I don't want to take part anymore. So yeah, they did. And so I'm going through that now. The rehab, I can't run, and it was a hard time.
And then how long? You said 6 months you were on your crutches. And then after that you still went for a rehab.
Yeah, it was I think 5 months on crutches. Then I let them go. Then for that, I think another month. Then I started walking. I actually only started running in January 2020.
Because I wanted to ask, when did you now start running? So, and you even managed to do Johnson Crane end of January.
I started running, not January actually, because Johnson Crane is in Jan, right? I started running December 2023.
But did your doctor give you a green light to say now you can start running?
Yes. And how this happened is, I can now remember I've run London Marathon. And then after that I went and I entered New York Marathon. New York Marathon is in November 2023, right? So.
Oh yes, November, yeah.
August, they release me. I get parole to say you can put the crutches down. And I'm like, okay, now what do we do about this marathon that I've signed up for? And he laughed at me and he was like, my goodness, you runners are all the same. Yeah, and he said, look.
They know us too well,
Yeah, and he said, look, we've got 6 weeks from now until when you start New York, right? And he said, let's see how it goes. If I feel like you're fine, I'll give you the go-ahead to walk it. You can walk it. Because Leon and New York,
they don't have a cutoff.
Yeah. And he said, you are strong enough to walk. I've seen you. I've seen how hard you've worked. You can walk it if you are fine, but you are not running it.
Oh, yeah.
So time goes, I make sure that I put in
That's
the
where
work.
you found your sweet spot now.
Yeah, starting to do my strength training, you know, every day I'm at the gym. My friends know I'd be posting every day on my WhatsApp because now I'm back. Hey, they must know, hey? Yeah, so I then went and I did New York. I walked New York. I would only kind of like mimic running when I saw cameras. Because I was like, in cameras,
No,
like I was
I can't look like my problems again.
Exactly, you know. But I walked New York, I brisk walked it, and I finished in like 6 hours.
That's good. That's a good finish. Some people run, but yet finish at 6 hours.
I finished in 6 hours. And that's also when then I kind of came up with this, I don't know if you've seen it on my posts, it's walking back to running.
Yeah.
It's like a hashtag that I use. It's a personal thing that I've developed because for me that's when this whole journey started again. Walking back to running. Yeah.
So after the New York, you became stronger and you started becoming confident that I can start running.
Yeah. So then I go back to my physio and he says, how did it go? And I say, medal kill. And he was like, wow, well done. Okay. Now, that's November, right? And he says, okay, let's give it another 2 to 3 weeks. Then from there, I want you to do the couch to 5K program. Because he said, I know you. If I say you can start running, you'll go and do 15 kilometers on your first run and you'll be back to where you started. So then that's how then I started the whole thing. It was
so it's a 5-kilometer program.
Yeah, couch to 5K for a person who's never done anything. So you start with walking more than running like 30 seconds, walking 2 minutes. And then gradually you build up to it, you build up to it, you build up to it. And and that's how I then went and I ran Johnson Crane, I went and I ran your Edenvale, your Ultras, and ultimately...
And then let's go back to Comrades.
Yeah,
you were emotional at the start. And then the gun went off and off you went. Just if you don't mind, take us through just in a minute or two through the entire, because I know the journey of Comrades. One Comrades on its own, it's got stories to tell.
Yes, it's a book you can write, right?
How was yours?
So almost every race, they know me. I'm here, Gandila. You know, so we get to Comrades, right? We at our sitting benches. On the way to the start, I'm very quiet. I remember even in the bus, I even asked them to turn the music down because I felt like it was getting on my nerves. I just needed
So silence. You took a bus or it was
in the club bus.
Oh, okay.
Get to the start, we go to our sitting pens. Okay, the excitement is there. I'm with my friend Tani, so we are in the same sitting bench. We are taking pictures. It's all nice and good. Hi, okay, fine. You know the drill. It really have a little cherries of fire. I just couldn't hold it in, you know. And the gun goes off.
Yeah.
So when the gun goes off, we are now moving. The first thing I did, I spoke to my dad and I said, I'm here because of you. I don't know why you wanted me to be here, but I'm here and I'm fulfilling your dream. It's now our dream because I also want to know that wherever you are, you're looking down and you're proud of me for doing the things that you've wanted me to do, you know. And this happens with almost every race. I'm a very slow starter. If I start with you in a race, I'm gonna intentionally be behind. I'm gonna let you go in front because I don't wanna hold you back. I think also it's a psychological thing. I still need to get myself in that groove. You are actually in a race. Start running. So I think my first 5 kilometer split was very slow. Very slow because most of it I was walking it. And now here's another thing that I didn't tell you. I now started developing like complications with my leg because of the training load.
Oh yeah.
So my doctor says to me, Lebo, I'm gonna let you go run Comrades, but I'm trusting you to be able to make proper judgment when it comes to how far you take this. When the pain threshold gets to a certain level, I need you to withdraw from the race.
Yeah.
You don't walk, you stop, and you completely withdraw, because then it means
You don't want it to do more damage.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, sharp we go, right? And I'm taking it very slowly, because I'm like, I would rather cross the finish line at 11:59:59, get the medal, than rush it and not get the because of the pain. I am in pain, I can feel it. I gave one of my friends, Sama, my medication, and I said, okay, this I'm gonna take towards the end of the race, because I don't wanna take it too soon, because I can't take it more than once, right?
Oh, yeah, no, that's a difficult one.
Yeah. Okay, I go. So how I ran Comrades, I kind of divided it into segments based on where our club support was.
You got to your first 30
Support
where your
point.
support point. Yeah.
I'm confused when I get there, right? I don't know what was happening. They asked me what I wanted. For each support point, there was like a whole lot of supplements. Then I didn't know what, I was out there acting like an elite. Like I need all of these things. I'm going to be burning so much energy. And when I get there, I remember one of my clubmates asked me, he said, "Leb, what do you want?" Because I'm just like,
there's a lot.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I need. I don't know what I want. Right? First 30 is done. I'm feeling good. I can feel the niggles, but I'm just like, I can manage. Oh, and another thing that I did, I switched off notifications on my watch. And when I get to 56, these people are not there. I'm panicking because I'm looking forward to seeing familiar faces.
Yeah.
Automatically, I think every little thing just disturbs you, it puts you off. Only to find Kgari, for some reason, with support, things sometimes don't go as planned, and they could not be there, stationed there. So they were like 3 kilometers away, Goboma 58. So,
okay.
And I remember when I came, I had one of my classmates say, "Kiolebo," and I was like, phew, my people, they run. My club is very good, so when it comes to support, they will run with you, make chats with you,
How
ask
are
you
you
how you're
feeling?
feeling. Yes, I get to them. But now, and especially this problematic leg, I can now start feeling it. They spray me, van sprayer. Deep down, I'm starting to panic.
The doctor's instruction?
Yes, because I'm like, oh my God, when is it coming? Fine. And then we had the next support point, which was around 70. So we had 3 support points for the club. And then,
which is just 10 kilometers far. Not far.
12-ish, Yes. And then we had my friend Zama. She's from Waterfall, a different running club. So they were around 74, so like 2 kilometers away from my club. Now she's got my emergency stash, my medical aid kit. Fine. Then I run. And funny enough, people ran with people they knew, go Comrades. I think I'm just that one person that didn't see anyone I know. Come to think of it.
I know a lot of runners. Personally, I know a lot of runners.
Yeah.
From different Limpopo, Gauteng, and so forth. I don't need to run with anyone familiar. I will start friendships, conversation with just anyone. So that's just me. So I don't feel lonely on the road. But I usually, in Comrades, I advise people to run your race. Forget about, even if it's a training body, but they don't run with them, because if they struggle, you would want to struggle with them sometimes, and you might miss on your medal. So that's the difference between it. So you got to your 70.
I got to 70. I'm in pain. I'm now in serious pain. They asked me, "Lebu, what do you want?" I always like having salt and vinegar chips, right? They had salt and vinegar. I said, "Can I please have salt and vinegar chips?" And they did tell her in a cup. Then we are now walking.
And they are
helping
you.
Eating. But I'm in pain. I wanted to cry, but I held it in. deep down I'm crying, but I'm just like, you know what? You are here, you are in this, you gotta finish what you started. Then 3 kilometers later, I see my friend Zama. And she's there. Oh, we passed, you know that F&B stand where they hand out Divas Lab. For some reason, I started having like aches at the back of my neck. I think it was stress. I was stressing a lot.
But Comrades is got its way of taking out things that you never know you had, you never knew you had.
Right?
Yeah, but they'll give you that.
So kids at Divas Lab, and every time when I see like a water point or something, I would take ice, wrap ice in it and put it here. It made it better. Now I look at my pictures don't look nice because I have this green thing that's sitting here.
You must look like your problem sometimes.
Right.
Because
it tells the story.
Like let's say you were in a mine, you were wearing the mining gear, you had your headlight on and everything. Just take it as that because it's part of the process.
True.
Yeah. I also took one and I put it underneath my cap.
Your cap, so
and
it was
you can see
hanging on your face.
So,
yes. So I have that vaslapre. And then Kifika Kozama. And she said to me, how are you feeling? I think that question just broke the seal.
Oh, yeah.
I broke down. I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. I'm in pain. And you know what the funny thing is? I was looking forward to seeing her, right? But when I get to her, I forget that she's got my medical aid stash. You know? And I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. I don't even know why I did this. I'm in pain. Because now I'm thinking of, is this whole thing worth me doing?
Worthwhile,
Yeah, like what's the point? Because I'm in pain, you know? And she says to me, listen here.
You're almost there.
You have 12 kilometers to do this. And she says, I'm going to clean you up. I'm going to give you your medication. Just hang in there until the end.
Even if you walk, you were to walk.
That's actually what she said. And when she said that, I think that's what made me realize how far I had gone. She said to me, Slobo, if you walk this thing, you will still get to Maritzburg before the gun goes off at 5. Is it 5 or 5:30?
5:30.
5:30. And that's the one thing that made me look now at the time. I look at the time and I look at how many kilometers I have.
You should be at 8 hours or 7 something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, 12 kilometers. That's all I have. That's like a recovery run. Now that's how I'm breaking it down, right?
Your mind,
Yes, but also I'm like, there's poly shots waiting for me. Ne? Fine. Zama, man, you know what? Some friends are God given. She wipes my face. She took that Vaslapuyako FNB. She gave me a fresh one. I don't know where she got it. Oh, because she had bought a Vaslap. She said, I'll have a Vaslap for you at the finish when we meet so you can clean up and so that you don't look like a problem in the pictures. And I said, good. So she gives me that and she says, no, don't worry. I'll rinse this one. Then if you still need it to use. And she said, you can throw this one away if you feel like you want to. What must I do with it? And then she cleans my face. One clothes are Vaseline. Like Zamarili Vaseline. She's like, don't complain. She said, at least so that you don't look dry and the sun does not burn you much. She said, at least so that you look proper. She gives me a hug. She gives me, and I had asked for energy. She gives me energy. She gives me my medication. She says, take this. I gulp it down. And she says to me, your dad is waiting for you at the finish line.
Oh, yeah. Because I was going to ask, any moments that you thought of your dad along the road, but
I did, because whenever I could feel the pain, I would say, Baba, you can't leave me now. I'm in this for you. Please, you know. And when she said that, I think she gave me that boost that I needed. You know that boost that you get from Coke at a water point when you have 3 kilometers to go.
I get it from her words. I know.
Yeah, her words. She said to me, your dad is waiting for you at the finish line. She gave me the warmest hug. And I think, because even if you look at my splits, the Comrades, the last one, the one where we come condemn all the way to the finish, all the way I was averaging Boma 7, 8, 7. But that one was like 5:49.
Oh, really?
Because I don't know where I got the energy.
Where you got the Jaobe from?
I flew. And I think also the medication helped because now I'm not in as much pain,
Pain
right?
as before, yeah.
And I flew. I went. And there was these ladies that were singing, reminding us of Polly Shots. I remember them saying that Polly Shots is waiting, whatever. I got to Polly Shots. Well, my strategy was, I'm going to walk the hills. I'm not going to stress myself.
Yeah.
I listened to Coach Perry when he said, don't even
stress about the hills, yeah.
I got to Polly Shots. I see them, they're struggling, we're all in the struggle. I walk up Polly Shots. I'm smiling. I saw the camera. I smiled for the camera. The pictures are still there. It's me and my Vaslap again. The Vaslap is still here because it's still sore here.
And the Vaseline is
yes.
making you glow.
Yes. And climbed up Polly Shots. After that climb, the way I flew.
You flew down. Now
that is the part of Comrades that I actually ran. Because the other one, I don't know what I was doing.
And you still did 1040, so that's, you were just,
even then I'm not looking at the time. I just said to myself, this is the fastest 12 kilometers I'm gonna do in this race because I've got nothing else to lose. I think that's, for me, that was the race.
Any emotions at the top of the poly? Or you were still
at the top
fresh
of
from
poly,
the meds?
Yeah, at the top of poly, I'm telling myself that I need to get to the finish before the medication wears off and I start feeling pain again. I think also that's why I went so fast because I was like, it is what it is. All I remember is that there were Toyota things there. Yeah. I'm flying. And when it hit me that I'm actually done, there's a lady, I think she saw me around, was it the 50-something kilometer marker? Because I carried the move, right? Then when she saw me there, she said, my girl, you are done. You have just over a kilometer or something to go. I remember she said something along those lines. That's when it dawned on me.
Yeah, kilometers, Alan Payton going into the Comrades.
Yes. That's before you get to the thing that says Toyota. Toyota.
It's Alan Payton.
Yes. And that's where the downhill stops and it kind of becomes a bit flat. Ne? Yeah, and she said it in Zulu. Arintombazane uqedile sis, ugijimele, you are here. Less than you have about a kilometer to go. Press on. Oh, and then there were guys that were running behind me and she said, Shia Lavafan. I remember her because of her words.
What their motivation.
And I think for me, the moment when I realized that I'm actually done is when I entered Scottsville. I enter Scottsville and I see the sign that says Comrades finish. And I see the time. That's the only time I then realized I'm done. That's why I even remember what time I finished. Because it was there. You know,
in front of me.
And when I remember my clubmate said, when we kept on calling you, you just did not want to hear it. Because I get other people, they have their videos where they're smiling. Me, my video, I'm just sprinting to the finish. And I said, all I wanted was to touch that mat and just get it over and done with.
Get the medal for your dad.
Yes. When I crossed the mat, I actually broke down.
Again.
Yeah.
Understandable.
And how I knew that, you could tell that this one, she's not okay.
You're not the first, you're not the last. People break down at that point, eh?
Yeah. One of the ladies, she came to me and she said, are you okay? And I said, I'm fine. She said, do you need anything? Is there someone here with you? You know? And she gave me a tissue. And okay, that's her saying, wipe your face. You know, but I'm wearing shades, so in my mind I'm like, how do you see the tears? So clearly they were rolling down, you know. And then I went and I got my medal.
Congratulations on that. Like, once again, now that you've taken me through the journey, big congratulations.
And I think when I got the medal, right, it was, I don't know, there's just something about it. You would know. I mean, look at you. there's just something about that medal. There's a feeling, as small as it is, it comes with like a whole lot of emotions.
It's got sentimental value.
Yes. You know, the first thing that I did, I wanted my phone because I wanted to show my mother the medal.
Oh.
She didn't come to Durban because she told me, she said, I don't think I'll be able to see you in pain. My mom is just one of those people that she just doesn't gel with pain. If she sees you not well, she will tell you to just stop whatever is giving you the pain. So she did say, she was like, if I see you in pain, I'm gonna tell you to stop, and I don't think you need that. You know? And I went, and then I went and I fetched my finisher's jacket. Because I ordered it.
Oh.
Yes. I had a conversation with God and I said, I'm ordering this finisher's jacket to show you how big my faith is, in that you will help me carry out this goal. So I hope this is a sign to show you that I have faith in you, you know, in me, in you, and the whole meaning of this whole thing. And I went and I fetched my finisher's jacket. And I got my phone. I didn't say anything to my mom. I sent her the finisher's medal. By the way,
so she was not tracking you, ne?
Nah, she's not a technology person. But to be honest with you, my mom uboyi, like she's,
No, it's
for her
understandable.
she was scared because for her, remember,
A little girl.
I got injured through running and all of these things, and now I'm going to do this because she said to me, my mom actually grew up in KZN, right? My grandmother who raised my mom, my maternal grandmother is Zulu. So my mom said, Lebu, do you know for a Rona we went to Maritzburg from Durban, Kabas. Why are you guys going there? It never made sense, you know. So she wasn't tracking me, but my family from Botswana, when I switched on my phone, the notifications were from them, and they were like, Mana Malume, you know, all those. And I remember my aunt even said to me, you truly are your father's daughter, because wow, you know. And when I sent my mom the medal, she actually, her first response was an emoji of the person that's crying, and she said, I'm glad you made it.
Little did she know that you were crying too.
Yes.
Yeah. But then, just to fast forward as we go to the end. So, congratulations on your comrades. You did it for your dad, and I'm also proud of you, because Comrades is not for the faint-hearted. And then, when you contrast, just few things that you can contrast between Comrades and London Marathon.
Yeah. You asked me that question earlier and we digressed. I think they are, in more ways, they are the same than they are different. I think the only difference is the culture, right? That side, they believe in, I think this thing, because it's only now that my voice is coming through. They believe in signs, like they'll have all these funny signs that they write, you know, where are you going? You know, all of these things.
Which how are you they're walking in running shoes, those kind of things.
Whereas here in South Africa, you guys say it to us. Like, you know, those type of things. Ungajimanga, you know. But the support is equally the same, in a sense that you'll never be found wanting. You can start a race not having supplements, not having fuel. But trust you me, the universe will send
along
the way you will find yourself not needing, you will find help, you know. The major difference that I've noticed, Kgabe, is in South Africa, I don't know, maybe it's probably because of the regulations around like road closures and municipal laws and regulations and whatnot. But that side, they accommodate everyone in terms of the cut-off times, you know. Many of the races do not have like stringent cut-off times. The one that I know, for example, that I think one of them is like, is it Berlin, right? And Tokyo or something, that have like a 6-hour cut-off for a marathon. Whereas London Marathon, the last runner, one last year, I think they crossed it in 9 hours and something.
There's one where there's an old man or an old lady that finished late,
Yeah, they finish quite late when it's at night, right?
Did you run for a course that side?
Yes, I did, like Sports for Ubuntu.
Yeah.
You know what it does? It's got like organizations. So you can come and say, I have an organization to build that builds schools for underprivileged communities, right? And then now as Lebogang, I can pledge to say, I'm gonna raise funds for you, right? So every time I run that race, whatever people donate, I'm gonna go out there, promote it, and whatever people donate, it goes to
the proceeds will go to you.
Yes, that's what the Sports for Ubuntu part, that's where it comes in, because then our focus is on those African organizations, because remember that side, they prioritize their own organizations. Cancer.
Oh, so you guys were thinking back home?
Yes. Okay. Most of the courses that we ran for.
Do you know any of the courses, like of the South African beneficiaries, of the African beneficiaries? If you know of them, it's fine. But if you
it's actually not well known. I know them through. Like I can, you know what I can do? I can send you the links. Then when you release this thing,
explore.
You can put it on.
I'll explore.
Yeah,
but I need to talk to
those
guys before, so that I tell them before
that you're gonna feature them.
Because I featured you, so you told me about them. And
it's fine. I can also do that because we have a WhatsApp group. I can do it on your behalf. They will not mind. They will not mind, because even if you go to my profile on Instagram, there's a link there that I put when I ran London Marathon for the organization that I ran for. So it's quite huge. So I think for South Africa, and seeing Hore, there's so much of us that are running. We can make a huge difference. You know, it's actually something that I'm working on myself to start like doing those kind of.
Maybe you need to educate us as to because sometimes we don't do certain things. Maybe we are blinded by our passion and the lack of knowledge. Maybe our ignorance. Yeah, I think it will be a good thing, because sometimes certain things start with certain people, and maybe you can bring your experience from the UK this side. And then, have you tried to run for a course here in South Africa? Besides pace setting?
No, not yet. I get it now. I was running Comrades. The biggest part of the year went to Comrades, right? It's now that I'm recouping and I'm pulling myself towards myself now to say, the next phase of my running journey, what is the focus? And the focus is that humanitarian giving back. You know, I'm definitely going to put it out there. I have like a few initiatives and ideas that I have in mind. I've spoken to some of my friends about it that might kick off, God willing. So, but I'll definitely put it out there, you know, so that it becomes a culture of.
I would also wish to run for a course, because I've been running for 22 years and I haven't made any difference. From 2002, so
Here we are in red caps and then how green and white.
Pace setting in South Africa, when did you start?
This was my first one.
The run zone.
It
was
your
first
my
one?
First one.
Oh, lovely.
It was my first one, and it was an amazing experience, right?
How easy was it, if you contrast? Because we need to contrast here.
Yeah, I think it was difficult, if I'm being honest. Firstly, South Africans are very vocal. Runners are very vocal. When I was doing it in the UK, I get it at the pace set. They respect you. They don't question. They don't complain.
Oh, here you say, but you're too fast. But this is a hill. Let's walk.
Yeah, like, you know. And I think for me, the challenge was when it comes to, like, I accommodate people. Sometimes I put people first more than I do myself, right? So now I found myself in a position where it's okay, what do I do? But I had my friend Wipilo, right? She's paced before, runs only, and so she gave me like tips on this is how you need to do it. Don't listen to people. This is the goal. And she was like the timekeeper. So she was like the co-pacer, yes. And she helped me a lot, because I think if she wasn't there, I think at some point I would have broken down, you know. But it was, for the most part, it was nice. The challenging part also When I was based in the UK, I never lost passengers. Here, I lost passengers.
Yeah. So anyway, I think you've shared a very interesting story that I believe most of our followers and whoever might be watching this will will draw a lot of inspiration from. And yeah, and I'm glad that you've managed to fulfill what your dad asked you to fulfill, even though he's in his absence. But I almost believe that he knew what he was talking about, and you carried the mandate, you delivered. Out of a family of 5 siblings, he entrusted you with the Comrades.
And the youngest one, I feel like that's not
just ask
fair.
yourself why you are the last born, but he entrusted you with that. So I think he could see potential.
I guess.
Yeah, and then thank you for coming. And we say to our viewers back at home, hope you've enjoyed this series with Lebogang, and please like, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so that when a new video comes out, it will notify you. And to you, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. And our motto, we love what we do, and we do what we love. And we say to you,
thank you.
Dango.